Welcome back to another video. So I will be telling you about my experience and stories about being a preschool teacher. So being a preschool teacher, it was actually my first job in community rec and not aquatics. And it was the year after I finished high school where I just wanted to take a year off and work. So I actually applied for a bunch of different jobs online with my dad, and I got a call for an interview for a preschool teacher at a community center. And so the day of the interview I was actually running late, and I wore a black formal skirt, a white blouse, black heels, and the bus would not come. So I literally ran, I would say 12 blocks or maybe more, or maybe a little bit less, maybe 10 or 12 blocks in heels. I actually ended up getting there a little bit early, so I had to wait around. But I had two interviewers. They were both impressed that I dressed up, and I remember one question that was asked was, what would you do if you had a kid that was clinging on to their parent, or a little bit shy, come into your class? And my answer was, I'd look at him and I'd be like, oh cool, you have a dinosaur on your shirt, we have dinosaur toys, do you want to see? And they really liked that answer. Or oh wow, your backpack is blue, my favorite color is blue too. And you would just kind of be friendly with them and introduce them to toys, or get them to talk to you. An interview tip that I would give anybody is to always dress up in formal wear. They actually do appreciate you when you dress up. Bring a folder with your resume printed off, even if they already have your resume, and bring a piece of paper with a couple questions. It could be really obvious questions, and a pen. And yeah, make sure to always ask a couple obvious questions. Maybe they were answered, but always have a couple questions ready, because it shows to the interviewer that you are serious about the job and that you care, and that you are actually thinking about the job, and you're thinking about the interview and everything. During this interview, I remember I was stuck on one question, and then one of the interviewers was mouthing the answer to me, but I couldn't understand what they were saying, but I knew that they were on my side. And then afterwards, that same interviewer, when I was waiting for them to photocopy my qualifications, that same interviewer was yeah, you got the job and stuff. And I was yeah, because when I went out, I knew there was another interviewer, another person applying for the job, because during the interview they mentioned that there's another person waiting. And I saw her afterwards. So that is how I became a preschool teacher. Woo! Honestly, being around kids is so freeing. You get to play with them. They just want to be your friends. You make crafts with each other. You can read them books. You sing with them. You play with them. You do you eat snacks with them. It's so much fun. Personally, I have worked with other teachers who like to plan everything and make sure we're always doing something. And then I've also worked with teachers who are super chill and like to have free time for the kids to play with other kids. I find both methods are good. And then whenever kids are coloring, I've always noticed this, even in my own drawings when I was a kid, they always draw the sun in the corner, and yeah, it's so cute. I have also taught classes, preschool classes with caregivers, so they are also involved in the class, and I don't prefer it. I prefer teaching just the kids by themselves, because parents are judgmental, and sometimes they have a resting face where they're not impressed, sort of. I have had my fair share of rude parents to deal with, parents who aren't ready to drop off their kids, so like they hang around, or they try to stay for the class, or they like hang around outside and they wait in the hallway, or like stand at the door for like the whole 2 hours or more. Yeah, it's crazy. When dads drop off their kids, they just like open the door, they quickly, like, their kid goes in and then they close it and they leave. But like moms, like, they will like settle you in, like they'll take off their child's backpack, like tell them where the washroom is, like tell them, like, you know, they have extra clothes in their backpack, tell them what snack they have. Like, they will hang around, they'll make sure like their kid is settled into the classroom. So like I said before, I have had parents who like to stay around. Typically for my classes, we do allow the caregivers to stay around, like in the classes where they're not involved, like for the first week, and then after that they have to leave. I just don't get it. Like, you have a couple hours, like why don't you go grocery shopping? Like, you have time off from your kid. And yeah, I don't feel like kids or preschool kids, they focus like on the class if their parents are in the room. They're more focused on their parents, or they like cry a lot more because their parents are there, and yeah, they don't really like interact as much. So I have taught various different types of preschool classes. I've taught just like a regular one. I've taught science. I've taught drama. I've taught sing-alongs with caregivers. I've taught preschool soccer. Yeah, I've done like most of them, or like all of them. I've taught them. For the regular preschool classes, we do craft time, so I just typically like go on Pinterest and like screenshot a craft, and I typically like take all the crafts from Pinterest because I have so many to choose from, and they're super simple. For the regular preschool classes, like just 2 teachers and the children, for the first half hour, we like to do like free time where they could play with other kids. You know, the kids come in, like they settle in, they take off their backpacks, and like we wait for kids. And then next we go to the carpet and we do like a circle time, and we take attendance, and then we go to the other room and we make sure to wash our hands, and then we have snack time, and then after that we have craft time, and then after that we have sing-along, and then sticker time, goodbye song, and then the parents usually pick up their children then, because the classes are typically 2 hours long. I have found that parents don't like when you do like huge crafts, because like they have to bring that home and it's a lot to hold, or crafts with sparkles because it just gets everywhere, or crafts that aren't dry yet, so like paint crafts. Normally when I do paint crafts, I try to do minimal painting, like not a lot of layers, so it'll dry fast, or I just like let the crafts stay in the classroom for a week to dry, and then they can pick it up the following week when it's dry. I have had kids in my class draw pictures for me, and I've had like really nice parents who on the last day, or like on their kid's birthday, like they bring in cupcakes, or they bring in like baked banana bread or cookies. And then even on Valentine's Day, like they bring in cards for the class, and yeah, it's really fun. And then for Halloween, like their kid dresses up for that week. I have found that doing like a water table or multiple water tables, and then filling it up with soapy water and bath toys, the kids really love that. They do have to wear like aprons so they don't get wet, and it's a lot of work, but it's super fun. You don't have to bring them to the washroom and roll up their sleeves and like everyone take their turn and wait in line to wash their hands before snack, because like they're playing with the soapy water, so it washes their hands. Yeah, so that's a good tip I would give you if you don't want to like spend a lot of time washing hands and going through like lines. And preschool kids also love slime and playing with Play-Doh. They love playing with like the cookie cutters and like rolling out the Play-Doh. They love that. Preschool kids also like playing hide and go seek. It's also super cute to see them hiding out in the open. Like, you have to pretend like you don't see them. Kids also like picking out books to read. They don't really necessarily like listening or like sitting down, but they love picking books out. For science class, we typically, it's a normal regular class, but instead of like at craft time, we do science experiments. Stuff that I have done with my preschool class for science experiments, we did a lava lamp, tornado in a jar. We've done like feeling icy water, cold water, warm water. So like different cycles of like water, like it could be ice, liquid, and then in the air, like we do a spritz bottle. And we've done like mixing different colors, so they know how to mix different colors, like make green, yellow, you know, all of that. For drama class, it pretty much follows the same as a general preschool class, but instead of craft time or science experiments, we do drama scenes. So typically, once the kids come in, they can dress up in costumes that I have already like prepared. And so the scenes that I've done in my drama classes were, I've set up like chairs so that it's like a community bus, like, you know, the kids come on, they sit, they have to say hi to the bus driver, and we pretend to drive and get off at their stop. And I've also done a tea party where they practice manners with each other, like saying please and thank you, may I have a cookie, or yeah, stuff like that. I've also done a grocery store scene, so like we're in the kitchen and someone has a cash register and like the little grocery baskets. So like the kids practice like getting food and then they have to check out, and yeah. For preschool soccer class, we typically, like for stretches, we teach them like this pizza stretch. So like you put your legs like that, and then you have like different toppings, and then you have to touch your toes for 10 seconds for like the oven to heat up, and then you open your legs and the pizza's ready, and then you have to like eat it. And we teach the kids to, like, for soccer, you have to kick with your feet, you can't use your hands except if you're a goalie. And we teach them to kick on the inside of their foot. And it's so cute when we're playing like soccer and we're not doing drills, like we're just playing a game of soccer at the end of class, and you see like kids like taking the ball with their hands, and you're like, no, you can't, you have to use your feet. And or like kids scoring on their own side because they don't really get it yet. Putting on jerseys on them takes a lot of time if you're trying to like fill up time. I've done various drills and they seem to like go around pylons really good. And also red light, green light is a lot of fun to play with them because they do understand. You're like, red light stop, green light go, slow, you know, yellow light. It's really fun. The sing-along classes that I have taught with caregivers, you kind of have to do the songs or the actions with the songs. You have to make it appropriate for babies, toddlers, like there's a difference, like the babies can't do as many actions, so it's more of like the caregivers. And then the toddlers, they can do actions, so it's pretty simple for that. I have also taught preschool obstacle course class where it's a lot of fun. They basically just play and they go down slides. Like we have a tunnel where they can go through, they like jump on mats, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, and they do like beanbag tosses and hula hoops. Some rules that I do have for my preschool class is that everyone puts on their listening ears, walking feet only, no running feet, you can't run. During snack time, you have to be quiet and eat your food, so you can't talk. And if you have to use the washroom, you have to let me know. And I have also taught like sing-along classes where we use the parachute, so it's a lot of fun, and also musical instruments. So some games that I would play with my preschool class is What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf, Stella Ella Ola, Hide and Go Seek, Freeze Dance, Musical Chairs, Simon Says, Duck Duck Goose. I also remember one time we had like fishing rods, so the kids would practice like going fishing. It's so cute. We would also play Doggy Doggy Where's Your Bone, Who's Missing from the Circle, Guess What Animal, Hot Potato, and Red Light, Green Light. Songs that I would sing is Shake 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 It Out, Roly Poly, Hokey Pokey, Let It Shine, Row 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 Your Boat, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Down by the Bay, Who's Here Today, The Ants Go Marching One by One, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, The Wheels on the Bus, Baby Shark, I'm a Little Teapot, BINGO, Bingo, Goodbye Song, Hello Song, Who's Here Today, Zoom Zoom Zoom, ABCs, If You're Happy and You Know It, This Old Man, The Bear Went Over the Mountain, 5 Speckled Frogs, John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, Frere Jacques, London Bridge, Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, Baba Black Sheep, Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush, Fuzzy Wuzzy, Hot Cross Buns, Hickory Dickory Dock, Humpty Dumpty, Hush Little Baby, Yankee Doodle, It's Raining, It's Pouring, I've Been Working on the Railroad, Jack and Jill, Knick Knack Paddywhack, Mary Had a Little Lamb, The Muffin Man, Sleeping Bunnies, 1, 2, Buckle My Shoe, Rockabye Baby, Skip to My Lou, 3 Blind Mice. You can also do nursery rhymes, so you could do like Humpty Dumpty. Also, it's so funny when kids call you like, my name is Rose, so they call me Miss Rose. And parents also do too, and then it's cute seeing them like recognize you out of class. So I actually stopped teaching preschool last year just because all the preschool shifts were in the morning, and I started taking Seroquel, so it's quite hard for me to get to shifts in the morning. So I've stopped doing that, but I feel like it was time for me to stop because I did it for at least like 4 years. So that's a pretty long time, and I did it all the time. On the last day of me teaching preschool, I actually gave my preschool kids a graduation certificate for graduating preschool because they were gonna go into kindergarten, a lot of them. And the graduation certificate was like, you could color on it, so like they colored the borders, and it was so cute. The parents really loved the certificate and how the kids were involved with the certificate. You can also have parties with the kids, so like class doesn't always have to be the same thing. You could have balloons, you could play freeze dance, you could have party games, you could bring cupcakes for like someone's birthday. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. As hard as it is watching a lot of kids, being a preschool teacher is pretty rewarding because you get to literally like be as creative as you want. You can lay out the class exactly how you want. You basically just play with kids, you teach them, and you see them grow a lot. And for the most part, kids just want to play, and they like it when you give them like a lot of attention because like you're paying attention to them and they just want someone to play with. And that is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video.